My name is Jack Wolin, and I'm here to ask you a question. That question is this: why am I speaking with a British accent? That's not the question. That is not the question at all. But I am Jack Wolin, and I am here to ask you a question. And that question is actually really important. Are you ready for it? Nah, you're not ready for it. Okay, you're ready for it. I asked this question because, well, mostly because of a lot of the things that I have seen other writers talking about on social media, and kind of a pattern that I've noticed. Now, this is not to say that anything is good or bad, right or wrong. It just is. And this is just my observation. And I've been trying to really be keen with my observations lately, because I'm trying to discern how this whole thing works in the modern era. Because all of the things that we used to do don't really work anymore. And if you're trying to figure out what I'm talking about, I am talking about art, and specifically the craft of writing. And not just the craft of writing, but the business of writing. And this also applies to the business of acting, and the business of painting, and ad nauseum. You know what I'm talking about. Here's the question. And I want you to really, really ponder it. I want you to give it plenty of thought. The question is, what's important to you? And I'm not talking about to you in general, because the second I ask that question, people are going to say family, health, blah, 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 blah. We know those answers, and those are great answers. I'm talking about what's important to you, the artist. That's where it gets a little trickier, isn't it? Go on. Think about it. Ponder it. Consider the possibilities. They are not endless, as you might think they are. But there are a number of possible answers here. Is being popular important? Is being financially successful important? Is creating the best possible work you can important? Is being a bestseller important? Is just finishing your first novel important? Is just being part of a community? I ask this question because I spend a lot of time on Twitter. And I see a lot of people in the hashtag writing community saying the things they say give me pause. And again, I'm not saying anything is right or wrong. But a lot of what I see within that hashtag writing community is people really just trying to get followers. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. I like followers. I like to be able to spread my message to as many people as I can. But here's the thing. Why are followers on Twitter that important? Especially, now this is where it gets a little tricky on social media. When you use the hashtag writers community and you're asking for followers, help me reach 1,000 followers, or help me reach 12,000 followers, help me reach X number of followers, you understand that the followers that you are adding are fellow writers. Wouldn't it be better, just maybe, to be adding readers? Now, I understand writers are also readers. We really are. I'm a reader. I read books all the time. I write books all the time. I like having other writers as followers, but I like to have readers as followers too. So instead of just tagging hashtag writing community, I might hashtag reading community. The only problem is the hashtag reading community is not nearly as active as hashtag writing community. You see where that kind of circular logic breaks down? Let me try to answer the question from my perspective. What's important to me? If I'm being absolutely honest, there's a part of me that really just wants to say it's all important. Woohoo! It is all so important. I want to be a part of a community. I want to be a number one best-selling author. I want to be financially, woohoo, pot of gold. However, from my perspective, if you ask me what's the most important thing as a writer, my answer is this: to be as good at my craft as I possibly can be, or to be even better at my craft than I possibly can be, or to be the best at my craft. For me, that answer has to do with always improving my skills as a writer. Now, I can get a little bit more specific with that. When I say that one of the things that's very important to me is to always be honing my voice as a writer. I always want to make sure that my particular and unique writing voice is as good as it can be, because that is unique to me. My voice is my voice and not your voice. That's the thing that I always want to be improving. By doing that, I believe it's an avalanche, it's a domino effect. That as I improve my voice as a writer, my skill set as a writer improves. As my skill set as a writer improves, my ability to tell stories improves. As my ability to tell stories improves, my ability to write better books improves. And it goes on and on and on and on. However, if you start at the end, if you say, I want to be a best-selling author, that's kind of an end game. Once you say that, then you've got to start backing up. You've got to say, okay, well, how do I get there? I know the end. I know what's at the end there. I know what's at the end of that rainbow, that pot of gold. But if I just start out in nowhere's land, I don't know where to go. I don't know how to find that rainbow to get to the pot of gold. So I always want to think about it as, what can I start with that will lead me to that? And for me, it always starts with the craft. Say, for example, when I ask you that question, what's most important to you? The ability to market my books as best as I possibly can. Okay, that's great. However, that assumes you have books that are worthy of marketing. That's a big assumption. Do you have books that are worthy of marketing? And here's the other problem. I believe that if that's your goal, if your goal is to be the best marketer that you can be for your books, that's what you're going to focus on. You're going to spend an inordinate amount of time improving your marketing. That's great. Improve your marketing, but don't make that the number one thing. Because what's going to happen is your craft is going to suffer. Now, I firmly believe this. I have to believe this. I have believed this from day one. That a good book, a very, very good book, will eventually find an audience. Yes, it will need a few nudges here and there. But if you write the best possible book you can, if the art that you are creating is outstanding, someone's going to read it, and someone's going to be blown away by it, and that someone is going to tell someone else. And word of mouth is absolutely the best marketing you can get. So, if you're not putting all of your time and attention on improving your craft, then that's going to suffer while you're improving your marketing. That's fine, as long as you understand that at some point, once you think you've gotten a hold of the marketing, you've got to go back and you've got to start working on the craft. And the problem is there's a disconnect, because once you go back to working on the craft, the marketing trends are going to change. And what worked yesterday won't work today. However, if you're constantly working on improving your books, that always works. Always and always and always. So I want you, as a writer, as an artist, as it doesn't matter what kind of artist you are, I want you to ponder that question. What is most important to you as an artist? Give it some thought. And once you've given it enough thought, I want you to be honest with yourself. And what's the single most important thing to you as an artist? Be brutally honest with that question. And once you've answered it, then I want you to start focusing on that answer. And spend as much time and energy and effort as you can reaching that answer, getting to that answer. Your craft, your life as an artist will thank you. Anyway, that is all I have today. And the heat just kicked on because it is cold out there. So, and I'm in the basement and I'm freezing. That's okay. It's worth it. The struggle is real and it is worth it. Anyway, thank you for paying a little bit of attention to me today. And you know, subscribe and blah, 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 blah. And tell your friends and your family, your enemies, whoever, about this little thing that I do here. And know that I am here for you. I hope that you have a great amount of success in 2022 and the years to come. And I just want everyone to be the best possible artist that they can be. Because you're worth it. And the world wants it. Because you, my friends, you are awesome.